bullseye.
What's up guys, it's me Tarox and welcome back to another episode of WWE SuperCard. Now today, top left corner, finally a bit of change. The Gothic tier is almost filled up, so we're about to Gothic Plus. Of course, we've got the 5 momentum slots. That is them applied already. I can tell that much. That's the only thing I claim from PvP rewards though, so we're gonna get into the rest in just a second. I just wanted to see what we're gonna get, and well, it turns out I'm just not a Gothic Plus. We've got the Brian in there, the Neon card, the Neon support card is in there as well. The only thing that is different in the top left is that Billy Case in the momentum slot, but I assume we don't have to don't have to change it up for that. I'm gonna autofill still because I think John Cena's not quite there yet. I thought maybe the John Cena is gonna get into the momentum slot and maybe that's gonna boost maybe a little bit more, but it turns out it is not the case just yet. Billy Kay is gonna get the one. I'm not gonna do this because like that, because of course while I get that the John Cena is the better card and I'm gonna get more of a boost essentially because I get 5% stats on 360k, of course it's more than on 320k stats, but the Billy Kay is in the top 8 while the John Cena is not. So if you have 5 momentum slots and you want to get as high as possible in your tier, make sure 4 males and then your best female. So you get the best boost in your top 8 deck and with that for your rank. As you can see, Elimination Chamber, I played a bit but not too much yet. I don't expect to get 5 momentum slots again. I think this will be 4 weeks where we might only do basically what we're going to have over the limited, not any other events, where we've got time, more than enough time to grind the events, to grind the PvP cycle to make sure I get a rank 7. I don't expect it on like a regular week with other events going on as well. I just don't think that's going to happen. Now, PvP rewards. We're going to get the CP, which is of course going to be awesome. We ended up getting 1,200. That puts us up to 4.5k. That is now at least one Gothic card in the next CP cycle already. If they are still the highest cards available. If maybe the Neon cards are going to be the same price. If they're in and all that. Now, the packs. I don't know if we can get something useful. I don't know if we will get something useful from that. But we're going to try our best. And let's see if we can get anything of use. 3 Titans there. That's going to be whatever. Of course, not useful for us. We're going to go into the next one. We're going to try again. 4 WrestleManias. Can you actually get something good out of these things? Oh, we're now going to get... What was after WrestleMania 34? Is it Goliath? We're going to get 5 Goliaths now. Is that the standard CP... Didn't mean to back out. Does that mean this is now the standard CP pack? If I get 5 cards, I would assume so, and I think the minimum is Goliath, right? We got one SummerSlam 18, or at least, yeah. Okay, we got a SummerSlam 18. That could be helpful already. Female, ideally. I pulled, just to say, I pulled the SummerSlam 18 Natalia, which is another single, but I'm collecting a few SummerSlam 18 females now. Drew Gulak is not one of them. That's a bit unlucky. Drew Gulak, I think, is also in... Oh, actually, is he single? Is he a single? Let me double check. Of course, that will have been a load of new cards. Well, actually, probably not a load of, to be honest. Drew Gulak, I think, is a single. Excuse me, I wanted to lock him. Yes, it seems like it is. All right, that's fair enough, I guess. Now, if we quickly take a look at the Fusion Chamber, we've got the first Snow Globe thing running up. Almost was going to sit here and complain about the thing because I had a Frosty one running and I went into that, I put all the snowmen in there and it said at the bottom 250 credits. I was like, what? What a ripoff. I thought they're going to make us pay 250 credits for every single fusion we run. And I was, okay, cool, that is 8 hours at least, but I'm not going to pay 250 per card. And then I was thinking maybe I am, because as you got basically Goliath to Shattered, unless it is Goliath, it could be something useful, basically. So SummerSlam 18 upwards could already be useful. So it was like, maybe I am, and then I noticed, or I got told that was because I had another fusion running, which I totally didn't realize. But hey, we're going to be able to go through a lot now. I'm looking forward to finally getting through these snowmen as well, getting rid of some of them. What else? You can see I've done a lot of training, to be honest. You can see that there's SummerSlam 18 back in there as a male, which I've got loads of now. I've got like at least I think 5 or 6 SummerSlam 18 males that are not trained, and I'm not looking to train them all to get out of my way and do train them, do all the match sets and all that, because I think there's quite a big chance that we might never get them as a pro, let alone something that's going to be useful. So the John Cena I'm looking to do match sets on. Of course, he is just about started. I've pro'd him last night. And then we have the gals from TBG, I believe, and the Sin Cara from Team RTG. That is indeed what we got. So that is the training situation, and the Natalia has just slotted. And I don't, I play games with her. Again, that's another single female. I will be willing to train her because a SummerSlam 18 Pro female is still my best card, or my best female card in the game. So I'm definitely willing to train all the females up. While I do train up males, I don't have another female to train up anyway, so it doesn't bother me too much. Money in the Bank Raw is going to get updated in 1 day and 5 hours, so we're going to be interested to see what's coming there. I don't see us getting the next cycle of cards either. We are about 13,000. It's definitely possible to grind it out, but I currently am not looking to it, and I don't really feel in the mood of grinding a lot of Money in the Bank, I'm not going to lie. It's not the most exciting thing, so that's not exactly on my main priority. And one thing we're going to do now is jump into a 25 ticket pack. I've just remembered that I had 27 tickets there, and we're going to try luck again. We're going to do that every now and then. If we get lucky, we get lucky. If we don't, we don't. And in this case, we don't. We get a Goliath male, which is going to be, or a Goliath card, which is alright, but nothing that is of use for us, of course, with a Goliath nowadays. Elimination Chamber, I don't think I've ran you through how I play Elimination Chamber, or why I played like I played and all that. So I'm going to do that in today's video. I'm going to show you a bit of my deck. I'm going to show you how I play it, the thought behind it and all that. You might already know that, you might not. So I'm hoping I can at least help some people out that maybe struggle or don't want to play Elimination Chamber. It is kind of boring, but I think I prefer playing Elimination Chamber to Money in the Bank or to Royal Rumble, just because you don't have to pay attention on Elimination Chamber. There's an argument to be made that the points that you get, both CP and the rank points, are not value for time compared to like a Rumble, but you get the same amount of picks. So there's cases to be made for both sides, I guess. This is my deck, basically all elites. I train them fully up. Generally, it doesn't matter as long as you're playing against bots. We're going to go to the game. I've got now my Neon Manager, 2-step manager. The other one, I believe, is my... Is it my WrestleMania McMahon? I don't know. It's another support card. It doesn't matter. I will not use it, basically. Ideally, you're going to come up against a bot. If you're coming up against a real-life player, or like a live game, it essentially depends on who has got the better support card. Try to use the 2-step. Trust me, that might be a real game there. I'm going to use it right now. Of course, at the start, you're going to get a boost of power speed, and I'm going to use my big killage. Now, I'm waiting. Of course, I'm waiting for opponent. And now, we're going to see I've got a Neo support card, and he's got a Shatter, which is going to be tough. He's got speed charisma. Now it depends on luck. That is a tough example, because now it's going to be depending on luck. He's got the better stats, so as long as the stats are getting called an equal amount of time, he wins. If I'm lucky enough to get the stats that favor me to be called in my favor, I win the game. That's basically it. I get power and speed boost. So as long as power and speed gets called, or power and toughness, I win, because he, I think, has speed and charisma. As soon as basically one of speed or charisma, and at most one of my stats get called, he wins the game. That's just basically how it's going to be. So as I said, it's literally down to luck now on what stats get called. It's not down to luck against the AI. Basically, the point is the AI doesn't use support cards. That is the main thing. That is what we're taking advantage of in those games against the AI. They don't use support cards, so you're going to get an edge automatically with your manager. Now, how big that is going to be depends on the manager that you've got, but you're going to get an edge. In this case, for the Neo, that is a 33% increase on your stats. So you get from a 15,000, or from around 15,000 stats per stat, you get another 5k or so on top. I'm not sure on the exact number. I can't quite see on the OBS preview because it's too small, but that is basically the thing. So you get 5k on top. The proc is way less, which is going to be important for that, because if you have a very low one, say a WrestleMania one, which is not dropping anymore, but if you would be using a WrestleMania support card, the issue with that is that if the others proc, your manager is basically negated again, because it is just too low, and they actually proc for more. Right now we've lost, well, we've not lost yet, but we're going to lose in just a second because, as I said, stats are, well, as long as it is even or in his favor in terms of stats called, the higher manager is going to win. That's just the way it is. It is a very obvious and to be expected. Now, of course, you should be looking to use the manager. First of all, for your support card, don't use like a steel chair or anything like that. I'm not even sure what, or a stop sign or whatever, because that only gives you that boost for one card. So if you use that, your card gets a boost and that's it. But the other cards stay the same. With the manager, of course, your whole deck, so all 6 cards that you have selected or that got selected for you will get that boost. Ideally, it's going to be 2-step manager, because if you use a 1-step manager, while that set is going to get boosted more, you're now in the position where that one set has to be called in one of the 2 or 3 stats in the match. The thing is, with Elimination Chamber, there's either 2 or 3 stats getting called. So that means if 2 stats are boosted, the only way you're not going to get a benefit from your manager is that one occasion where it is exactly the 2 stats that don't get boosted get called. So as soon as 3 stats are called, you get a benefit on at least one of the 2 stats that get boosted. And as soon as you, or when it is a double stat that gets called by the game, the only way you're not going to benefit is if the exact 2 wrong stats get called out of the different constellations possible. So very unlikely. I think it's 6 constellations that are possible. So I'm hoping now we've got a bot to show you a bit better. And as it is an elite icon that he's got, a elite Nikki Bella champion, I am assuming it is a bot because usually they use as the champion one of the cards they get. So this is 3 stats called. No matter what I would boost here with the 2-step manager, it is going to be at least 1 or 2 because only one stat doesn't get boosted, and there's no way both my stats don't get boosted basically in a 3-stat called matchup. So now I get a proc, I get the manager, and with that I win automatically. As soon as one stat gets called, I win because I'm going to be that much better on that at least one stat that the few hundred or maybe beat 1,000 difference that they might have gotten even on the other 2 stats that could have on me is not going to make up for the huge gap I now created with the 2 other stats, in my case power and speed. And what I now do, I can pretty much blindly play that, at least for the first set of cards. You're going to get three set of cards, and then the deck shuffles again. Just always use the open one, doesn't matter. You could always use the covered one as well, because all 6 cards are at their best. Of course, the 3 cards that you then have used will be weaker because the stats will have been deducted from the matchups they've had. Now, best case scenario, you get a still good card that has not been touched as your first card. If you don't, use the covered card. Because ideally, the ideal scenario for you is that one of the 2 that you get in your next 3 sets is going to be a good card, the other one is going to be a damage card, because then you win in the 2 cycles that you've got. I think you're always going to win with a maximum of 3 cycles, no matter the circumstances. So right now, the second card that was covered was a bad one. Now the non-covered one is the bad one. So I'm hoping that the covered one is now one of the 2 remaining good ones, and it is. And with that, that's the best case scenario, because now, of course, that means we've got 1 more good card and 1 more hurt card left, and I will know which it is because one of them is going to be revealed. If the good one is going to be revealed, which is not, I know that the other one is the good one, and without we've won. Because as long as we use cards that have not been damaged yet, we're going to win that matchup every single time. And that is the best case scenario. If maybe on one selection both cards were good cards, and of course you would have to use a damage card, you could still hope that it's going to call the 2 stats that have not been hurt if there have been 2 stats not hurt yet, and you still get away with it. If not, you get another selection, and within that you should either, even with the bad cards, to like slowly grind down that 1 card that will be left, or you're gonna find that good card anyways. Because of course there is a chance, as you then only got 5 cards left, if you have to use one of your bad cards and that loses, you're gonna have 5 cards left, so you're gonna have 2, you're gonna get another 2, and then it reshuffles, and that one last card does not get used or cannot be used in that second or in that 3rd cycle then. Of course, if that one unused card is the good card, that's a bit unfortunate, but even then, usually if you pay then a bit of attention to what stats get called and what stats are hurt on the cards you see, you should be able to grind down the opponent's card even with the 2 remaining cards, because it's going to be hurt anyways from the other card that you had to use before. So that is the easiest way to win, and basically, as long as you play against bots, you win every single time. Again, maximum 3 cycles, and if you play against humans, it generally depends on who has got the better manager. So that is pretty much my how-to Elimination Chamber. I hope it was helpful to the guys that maybe are still struggling with Elimination Chamber, maybe find it boring as the game crashes, brilliant, or just too tough to grind through, whatever the case is going to be. Hopefully I could help you guys out a bit if you already have known all that. I guess I'm sorry for boring you for about 7 minutes with gameplay that you already know how to play, but I do want to help you guys out as much as I can. So if there's anyone out there that is looking for a device, that is yours right there for Elimination Chamber. If you've got any other questions, any other game modes, any other general things that you need tips or that you want an opinion on, some feedback or whatever, just ask in the comments down below. I'm happily going to answer everything either in the comments if I can, or if it's going to be more long-winded like this would have been in a following video. This is going to be it for this video. I think I've gone through everything I wanted to go through. I've had a lot to cover, and I still have some to cover, but we're going to save that for tomorrow's video. So stay tuned for that. If you want to see that, go make sure to subscribe to the channel for tomorrow's video, and generally more SuperCard content. Still going daily, still going strong for about 27 days, or so. No, well, 2.5 weeks, 3.5 weeks? 3.5 weeks, I believe. We've gone daily now, unreal. I want to thank you guys so much for the awesome support throughout these 3.5 weeks and beyond. Be it on Twitch, be it on YouTube, anything. Really appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for the support. Like, comment, subscribe. As I said before, check out all the other social medias, not only Twitch, but also Twitter and Instagram. And with that, I'm out for that one. I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Until the next one, I'm out. Have a good one, and peace.